afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Sparks of Ingenuity, the podcast. Today, I am jumping right in, but before I start, have any of you ever had, just a series of days where you're, out of it, everything just feels weird, and not because of some, big existential thing going on, when COVID kind of, took over the world, Everything changed and it was an existential thing and everyone was going through it. But I'm talking I guess I don't mean existential. I meant external. And I knew that I meant that. So it's been a day. And I'm having one of those series of days myself. And everything's very overwhelming. And I don't know, I know that I could probably avoid it, but I also feel like I'm not doing anything positive. It's just a weird feeling all the way around. It's just weird. And so I am kind of an anxious person, and I get very anxious anyway. So I've learned, and I learned pretty early in life, that to combat the anxiousness, that I needed to make lists and find out just in general, hey, what's bothering me? What's making me anxious? And most of the time that kind of solves the problem and I'm good there. But beyond that, sometimes, it doesn't totally solve the problem, which is what's going on now. And I'm just I got to do some things to try and figure this out. I have so much to do, but it's all things that are so difficult to do. Or rather, to start. It's that procrastination thing, I need to do this, but starting it is the difficult part. But once you start it, you're like, wow, that was really easy. And I've just had some of the weirdest experiences today in and of itself. So many things that are just so random, but so frustrating. And I don't have that many pet peeves, I feel like. I'm a pretty reasonable person, I would say, but I do have some pet peeves, and, one of them is, telling the truth. Even though you didn't intend to lie, you didn't do what you said you were going to do, and that, to me, is a lie. Not something happened and you absolutely couldn't do it, and it was an extenuating circumstance and everyone can understand. More just you had the power to say, no, I'm going to be on time, or no, I'm going to do this thing that you asked me to do. I'm going to willfully write down whatever it was and remember, but I didn't. I chose not to. I made choices. My actions made it so that I didn't do this. It wasn't I purposefully thought about it and went, no, I don't want to do it, so I'm not going to. I just didn't do things to help me remember or to help me make sure I did it. And I know I have a problem, and I didn't help myself anyway. That is one of those things where it's that's one of my biggest pet peeves, not doing what you said you're going to do, because it's a lie. If you were going to do it, you would have made an effort to do it, but you didn't. You chose not to. And people may disagree with me on that. That might be a hot topic. I'm not totally sure. But, I just, you said you were going to, and there's no reason you shouldn't be following through with that. Unless you're dying. If you're dying, okay, I give you a pass. If someone you love is dying, okay, I give you a pass. But, other than that, do you really have a good enough excuse? Meh. I don't know. But I'm also hard on myself that way, too. And I think if you can't live up to something that's your pet peeve and, not do whatever it is that bothers you, if you can't do that, then you don't have a right to let it bother you. Again, hot take right there. But, so, that bothers me. But the other thing that bothers me is when people say that I can do something, or I call, for example, I'm in a wedding this summer, and this has been really bothering me since yesterday, so I just really have to talk about it. But, we had a number of bridesmaids, and one chose not to be in the wedding any longer for her own personal reasons, and just due to the fact that her dress was already paid for and ordered, and because I was going to have to order a dress very near that size, and then get it super tailored, we just decided that I would be picking up the dress for her, but we knew that, the dress place probably wouldn't just let us pick up the dress because that would cause problems for them. So we made sure as soon as we found out that this bridesmaid was no longer going to be a part of the wedding, that we would call, and the bride made sure that she called and got their permission to change everything over into my name and that I would be picking it up and that it would be for me. And then I called after the bride called just to confirm that, yep, I gave the bride permission to put my name down and I will be coming to pick this up. And I double checked just to make sure, is there anything else I need to do? And they were like, nope, you're good. We'll call you when it comes in. So I waited a while and I heard other bridesmaids were getting their dresses. So I called and I was like, hey, would you be happen to know when that dress is getting in? And they were like, I don't have access to that information. I have to have my manager do it. And I was like, cool, just have him give me a call back in a couple days. Never did. Called again, left a voicemail, got nothing. Called again, left another voicemail, got nothing. So I went in yesterday to pick up this dress because I knew it had to have come in already because they were all getting cut from the same cloth. And the other bridesmaids that had the same color dress as me already picked theirs up. So I was like, okay, I know mine has to be in, so I'm going to go get it. And I went and I specifically went to the bank to get out cash so I could pay for this dress. And I went in and they were like, yeah, we can't let you have that dress. You have to get fitted and order a new one and put a rush on it. And I was like, no. I called and this is what you guys said. I understand that you may not have been the person that I spoke to at the time, so I understand if it's confusing or whatever, but you need to fix the problem because this is what I was told previously. I called upwards of 5 times to make sure that this dress would be in on time and doing everything that I needed. And they still won't let me. And they were like, yeah, we can't, sorry. So I was like, whatever. So I called today because we were supposed to have, essentially, if the bridesmaid that signed for it, not the one that paid for it because the bride paid for it, but if the bridesmaid that signed for it called in and said that I would be picking it up, I could go and get it. So I called today just to see if she had called yet because I had talked to the bride yesterday and she said she would talk to the bridesmaid. And I was just looking for a, yep, she called, you can come pick it up, or a, no, she didn't, so you can't come pick it up yet. That's all I was looking for, and I got this whole, thing with it, and I get that the girl that I talked to wasn't there, and she only had the notes to go off of, but, it's such a frustrating situation. And it's such a little thing, but, so stressful, because I know it has a lot of, fixes, and I know it's going to cost me a lot of money, but I'm trying to save somebody else money right now, and I'm trying to be nice. It's just not going so hot. And I have a lot of things to plan out. It's a struggle. So that's my vent sesh for today. Venting. But anyway, so I'm kind of an anxious person, and as I mentioned, I make lists. Well, I was in the shower today making a list in water on the shower wall because I didn't have my phone, and I was in the shower, so I didn't want to have my phone in the shower. And I'm just I'll write this down on the wall, whatever. And the only problem with that, in the moment, it helped me kind of to regain my calm and whatever. And it was great. But the problem with this is I got out of the shower and I had to go feed my son. And so I didn't have 2 hands to type that list onto my phone. And now that I have the time and the ability to type up what I needed to do and write down my list so I can look at what I need to get done so it doesn't get lost in my brain, and I can't remember it. So now I'm more stressed out because I don't remember. And I don't know if anybody else kind of copes with feeling anxious that way or just organization in that manner and has that issue, or if anyone else just has the issue of oh, you think you're going to do something and you forget. And I feel everyone has that moment, but this causes me to get sick. It's a struggle. And I'm just so over it. I'm over it. But in other news, this morning, so yesterday was a day for me. Just a day. But I'm realizing that today and not yesterday, and because I kind of blocked it out yesterday, it's all hitting me today, which is compounding the anxiousness that I'm feeling. It's great. But yesterday, in the middle of the day, I just up and lost my sense of taste and smell, so that's glorious. And I'm looking to see if this is COVID, because, that's what they say is one of the, signs of COVID or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I should probably look that up now, see if I should go get tested and whatnot. And I'm reading this COVID symptoms, and it's like, yeah, you're going to lose taste and smell, but you're going to lose it before you have a lot of the other symptoms. And if you have a stuffy or runny nose, it's not COVID. It's the cold, the flu. So I have the flu because I've been sick for a few days, and I have a really bad stuffy nose, or it's runny. It's one of the two. It's making it hard for me to breathe, and I'm just generally sick and feel like crap. And I have for a few days, and now I can't smell anything. So that's good. And my mom had the same thing, so I'm like, thanks, Mom. You got me sick. I'm sad about it. Truthfully, because, I just want to taste things. I just want to taste things again. A flavorless world, in some ways, is, and scentless, is great in some ways, if you need to take medicine or something, but, in other ways, I just want to eat food again and enjoy it. My mom picked me up coffee on today, because I have my brother over to help me watch my son on Fridays, and I was just like, oh yeah, coffee is great, that sounds amazing and delicious, and all I have is the memory of the coffee as I'm drinking it to go off of, because it doesn't taste like anything. And I feel hungry, but nothing seems to, fill me up. I don't know, it's very unsatisfying, and I feel for anyone who has lost their sense of smell for a long period of time, and taste, because of COVID. I feel so bad for you, because I don't have COVID, and I'm really hoping this comes back, because it's annoying. But as I mentioned, I took a shower, and so I have somewhat dry skin on my legs and, my feet, and it's been a lot worse ever since having a kid, and I am just, I get out of the shower, and I'm like, man, my legs are so dry. I feel like I don't have skin anymore. So on top of being sick and having this cold and not being able to taste or smell anything, I feel like I don't have skin and I can't breathe. It's just weird because you don't feel like a human when you're sick, I don't know. Anyone else feel me on that? I want to feel like a human again. But anyway, it's really crazy, and being sick really puts you in this weird headspace too. And on top of everything going on, it's just really stressful. So if you have any real, good suggestions for how to, cope with feeling not like a human, that'd be cool. Because it's raining too, and it's freezing cold outside. So I can't go outside. And I can't leave my son at home to go outside by myself, because if I could, I would, go myself, because whatever, it's cold and rainy, whatever. But my son can't go out in this, and I have to bring him with me, so it's a good time. Anyway, thank you all for listening today. Don't forget that we do have new episodes out on Wednesdays and Saturdays now. So they are on YouTube, they're on Spotify, they're out pretty much everywhere. So anyway, you like to listen to podcasts, don't forget to tune in next week. If you have any suggestions for things you'd like me to talk about, definitely go for that. Otherwise, check out my YouTube video for more content. I am putting up a video about baby number 2. If you are interested in more, just go and check that out. Otherwise, I will see you next time.